sides.
What do you think about the current? I know you live in Istanbul, and maybe you've been immune to what's been going on in the West in the last probably couple of years. And it's a discussion about womanhood, and it's discussed about gender, and it's discussion about trans women and their status in society. And again, that's one of the complexities that we've had to navigate around as Muslim parents, as just Muslims in this community. Like how, of course, we are minorities and we have to somewhat navigate lots of complexities and challenges. And as you, I think, said in an earlier answer, it sometimes is it takes a lot of bandwidth to be a Muslim in the West. There's so much on the road and you've got to just think about lots of things. But anyway, this issue about womanhood has come along and it's a difficult subject to broach. I mean, how would you approach what's going on here in the West in recent years?
You know what? First of all, I'd like to say I'm still a journalist and I'm married to a journalist. So if only we were out of this awful,
Right.
the stuff that you're hearing, the question being asked, what is a woman? And people saying, well, it's someone who thinks that they might be and can be, if they choose, would be to wear, no, not to wear, but, oh my goodness me.
Yes.
Adult female human is quite a simple answer to come to, really. We're looking at the erasure of women. There's no doubt about it.
Erasure of women.
The erasure of
That's
women.
That's quite a hard statement. Explain that. What do you mean?
Okay, well, I'm going to go back to the fact that, first of all, let's start with women who are aging. All right, I've worked in TV for 30 years now, and since the last 20 years, a host of TV presenters from the BBC have complained about this. Female presenters over the age of 40 saying, "Hang on, I was the head of 3 current affairs show. Suddenly, I was ditched," and the BBC has had to pay out record damages to a number of women because this society, not the Muslim society, but this secular society, judges women based on their appeal. I just got off a plane. How many times am I mentioning planes today? I think I'm still in the airport.
Yeah.
I was
for our viewers, you were stuck in Istanbul airport for 2 days, was it?
2 days, yeah.
SubhanAllah, yes.
It obviously had an impact on me, but the way that women are used, if we are very good to look at, then we are stripped of our dignity and put on posters next to a water bottle going, "Buy this, it's pure," and it's filthy and it's horrible. And I had to look for 4 hours at this. And eventually I took it out. It was on the seat back and just turned it round. And there was a man sitting next to me. I said, "Do you mind if I just take that out and turn it round?" Because I did not want to look at a naked woman. So we're very visual as women in British society and European society if we're attractive and near naked. If you're aging, you can feel already redundant, ignored. I live in Istanbul. The women there are increasingly having duck lips, terrible amounts of Botox. They're looking ill. And so, along with asking what is a woman, how should we look is an obsession to everybody in this society.
Right.
And so when we have the guts and the serenity and the sheer unbridled guts to say, "I'm not showing you anything today. Oh yeah, and you won't be seeing me tomorrow either. You're just going to get my face and what I say." That is such a powerful statement.
Right. So your argument is that the hijab, in a way, it liberates women in a sense, but it makes them into less of a sex object, someone that should be admired for their beauty and that's it, to someone who one needs to engage with on an intelligent level. But again, the counter argument to that by many in the West would be, well, where does that exist? I mean, you live in Istanbul. Are women in hijab treated, in that way, that idealistic way that you present?
Well, hang on a second. I'll give you a couple of examples. I lived in Qatar in 2015,
Yes.
and the first time I went there, I remember being, you go to the airport, and there's the woman's line, and I was taken out by the soldier, and he goes, or the customs officer, he goes, oh, over here, madam. And there's nobody there. And I walk through like royalty and I'm like, okay. And all the men are queuing over there.
Yeah.
And then I go shopping and I have my bags picked up and carried to the car.
Yes.
And even now I went to Qatar for the World Cup. And my husband, who's a lovely man, by the way, he always complains that when we go to Qatar, I expect to be treated like a queen afterwards, because I see the women in the airport and they're just wafting along in black, you know, and their husbands or their sons or other people are carrying things. And my husband, he carries most things, but I still carry something. And I'm like, take my bag, you know, because it elevates us and gives us a break. There is a lot of beauty out there. Does this happen all the time in Turkey? No. But you know what? Hijabis have a superpower.
Right.
We have a superpower. I was told this by by Albanian girls who don't wear hijab. They said, you know what? When we see you in the street, it's like you're gliding along, and it's like you're surrounded by light, and you have a superpower. And so, as a hijabi wearing woman, you have that extra meter of space. You're either beautifully invisible, because it's quite nice to be invisible in the street, or you're just, you know, you're left alone. Men don't press against you. Men stay back a bit, and that's a nice experience. Because I've had the other one.
Right.
I've been the woman in the short. There was a BBC presenter who came to visit me after I accepted Islam.
Yeah.
She said, "I can't believe you're the same Lauren I met at the election party 8 years ago." I said, "Oh, whatever I said, I'm sorry." She said, "I would describe you as the woman with the biggest mouth and the shorter skirt." I went, "Yeah, that would have been me." Right? And no body space, no respect from the men. It's very different in hijab. Mashallah. It's a bonus. It's a bonus.